Hello everyone, I am Coolguy, and today let's talk about Destiny 2 and how they're approaching matchmaking. This is the first of probably more follow-ups from a previous video called 4v4, what that means for Destiny, what to expect. There's a link in the description below if you guys want to check that out, but as we know, through recent news, there's going to be two playlists, quick play and competitive play, and just by calling that might sound familiar to some of you guys. That's how Overwatch does their matchmaking, which we're going to get into that, but what's important to note is that there's no plans for ranked at launch. But with how this is set up, it's all but certain in my opinion that ranked will be coming. With Destiny going 4v4, it automatically implies that the Crucible is going to become more competitive in nature, and with it being 4v4, they needed to do this playlist separation. I've always been an advocate for this. With quick play or the social playlist, there's going to be modes that we love in there, Clash, Control, Supremacy, and Luke Smith said that the team kind of looks at that as the beer and peanuts mode. You get off work, you want to have some fun with your friends, you go into quick play and get into a match, boom, you're done. That's what it's all about. But that playlist there is there for a lot of reasons, guys, and that's what I'm most excited for. To name a few, players can go in there for one, let's say, what they said, right? You just get off work, maybe you want to change a pace from PvE or get some bounties done, and it's also going to be like a no judging zone. A lot of players stay away from PvP because of how it's just viewed and how it's played. It's really sweaty, right? Most are running the meta in there, but there are some people that love their Coolguy talk they just got from their gunsmith. They go in there, or maybe they got like an exile student from the hand cannon bounty, and they just love the way it looks, but once they get in there, those can be good weapons, but we all know that it doesn't hold a candle to your basic palindrome or IS Luna. So you can use what you want in there, just have some fun, right? And it can also be a place to work on your shot, your hand cannon shot, your scout shot, your movement, your awareness. There are many more, but one thing that really stands out is working on your team play for competitive mode. You can even work on solo, like rotating the map. You can work on two-man strategy, four-man team composition for that mode, right? For maps. Let's say you have a full team of 4. Your best sniper, make sure he gets sniper ammo. So you kind of rotate, make sure you guys can go to that box and make sure he gets it. That way you can go in the back of the map and kind of get picks. You know, you can also have a couple people running shotgun, maybe a couple hand cannons. Maybe one's going to have a scout. He's going to be in the back anchoring your team. So you can also work on that team chemistry for supers, seeing what subclasses gel with one another with how your team likes to play. The possibilities are endless, so you can work on the team strategy for objectives when rotating the map. I love that. But then there's competitive. While quick play has numerous reasons it's there, competitive only has one: to compete and win at the highest level the game has to offer. Now the competitive players are going to be in there mostly, and on launch, competitive play, they say 2 objective modes, countdown, which we have already seen, it's the gameplay you're seeing right now, and then the other one that they haven't announced yet. So the second one more than likely is that Trials of the 9, or maybe that's going to be a weekend playlist like we have now, or maybe it's going to be like a Destiny traditional elimination mode. But my educated guess is for that second mode, in no particular order, are going to be Elimination, King of the Hill, a traditional Capture the Flag, or a version of Halo 3's Oddball. Those new game modes mentioned, aside from Elimination of course, work for 4v4, and I hope that they one day make it into our game. But the big deal players are asking and wondering why there's no ranked, and I'm telling you right now, if ranked does not make its way into our game at some point, it will be a great disservice to Destiny 2. It almost has to make it, because they've taken very particular steps, saying that PvP was designed with PvP players in mind. They made it 4v4. They've confirmed that they can kind of weed out blanket nerfs and can tweak certain things in the Crucible. They made partnerships with MLG. They have a social playlist, a competitive playlist. They have made maps a little bit smaller, it seems. With that initial separation, it just makes sense with what we went over just now. I feel like ranked will be coming, and if not, on the rare chance, just having the names of them is enough. Quick play social and competitive to separate what the experience will be. And when competitive play was announced for Overwatch, this is what they said: competitive play is designed for those who truly want to put their skills to the test and offers a more serious experience than our quick play or the weekly brawl modes. And to make sure everyone has a solid understanding of the game's mechanics, maps, and heroes, competitive play will be unlocked once you hit level 25. So they go through that experience, what it's going to be like. They go into things such as quitting as well. And maybe something like this hopefully makes its way. They say because of its more serious in nature, the more serious nature of the mode, penalties are going to be more severe. In competitive play, leaving a game early or stepping away from your computer during a match will make you ineligible to join a new game until the original match has been completed. There's going to be no option to rejoin in progress, and failure to rejoin will result in a penalty. They say continued infractions will lead to restrictions on future competitive matches as the violations start to pile up. Competitive play will be locked for an increasingly amount of time. Completing matches without incurring further penalties will eventually return the account to a good standing, but repeated violations can also result in a ban from competitive play for the current season, including the forfeiture of any awards. So maybe the PvP team is thinking about these things and considering things like this. And I recently picked up Overwatch again and have been having a blast, and competitive is a completely different game than quick play. There are 24 heroes in Overwatch, and each one has specific abilities to counter each and other heroes. There are specific roles on a team, such as tank, DPS, healing, things like that. And if you don't have a healer, you might be in trouble, right? If you don't have enough tanks, you might be in trouble. But when you jump into competitive, you must have a plan. The heroes picked have to complement the team. But here's the deal, this actually happened. We barely lost a competitive match the other day, and we decided that we needed another tank. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it. We backed out of competitive, and we went into quick play. And I chose D.Va, and now she's my new favorite character, by the way. But the option was there to back out. Learn a new hero that's a no-judge environment, just to learn the ins and outs of the new character. Nothing was on the line, played a couple games, then jumped back into competitive and had a monster 42-4 D.Va game. I did the same thing with the hero Winston. And comparing Destiny and Overwatch is very absurd, but with how these games play, but the idea of that separation still stays true. Say you go into competitive in Destiny 2 and your team just got manhandled and just mowed over. You guys can talk about that. You can back out, see what went wrong. Maybe we needed more CQC play. Maybe we didn't communicate well, which again, communication is going to be your best weapon in 4v4. A great team of average players communicating can beat a more skilled team. That's just the nature of the game. Or you can say your team strategy was way off and you guys didn't really rotate well, so you're going to work on that. You can back out, go into quick play, and you guys can work on those things, and that's what I'm really excited for. There's so many possibilities to elevate your game on a personal and team level. But again, there's no ranked at launch, but that makes perfect sense, so hear me out real quick. I fully expect it again to make its way into the final game at some point, just on the basis that we went over earlier, the steps that they have taken, but it makes sense not to have it now. They need to see how players are playing the game, they need to see what weapons are under and overperforming. I mean, can you imagine Destiny 1 having the same setup, quick and competitive play? You start playing competitive, and there's 4 other players on the other team, they're using a brand new gun that you've never even heard of called the Suros regime. Then you proceed to get slaughtered, so time is there for a reason, and there are probably things on their end that they're still trying to figure out, such as skill rating, ELO, how they want to do it with divisions or actual ranks. Or again, it could all mean nothing if they don't follow through with ranked, and again, that would be a great disservice to our game. So let me know in the comment section your take on this discussion. I hope you enjoyed it, and until the next one, I am Coolguy.